I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Natural Resource Board for Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. If we could, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have roll call, please?
Yes. Ms. Haggerty?
Here.
Ms. Billman?
Here.
Ms. Callahan?
Present.
Dr. Mosbluck?
Present.
Mr. Sadelman?
Here.
Mr. Bradley?
Present.
And Ms. Ware?
Present.
I don't, is Mr. Carano excused? Or? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that, Janet, sorry. Let's see, we'll move on to item 4, approval of minutes. Can I have a motion of yea to approve the minutes from January 10th, 2023?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Ruth. Can I have a second motion to approve the minutes?
I'll second.
Do we need a second or do a roll?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second with a vote of yea for approval.
Yay.
Yeah, and no for no approval. Minutes are approved. Item number 5, announcements. And we have a couple of announcements. But first, we'll take care of the March 23rd NRB meeting date. Proposed change to Tuesday, March 14th. So is everybody okay with that? Does anybody have any questions or anything?
I'm curious for why we're changing the meeting, but other than that, I don't have any questions.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Well, Felicia's going on vacation, and so I was wondering if you all wouldn't mind pushing it a week. It's just a proposal. If it's really inconvenient, we can just hold it, but Felicia won't be here. And you'll be stuck with me.
Oh, no. Thanks for the warning.
I know that I already have something for science fair, but, if everyone else can be here, I don't hold it for me, so.
I also can't attend that day.
Ms. Haggerty, what? I'm sorry?
On the 14th, I couldn't.
No?
No.
Okay. Ms. Billman's, yes, I'm okay. I'm always good.
I
Ms.
can
Ware?
make it. I can make it.
Callahan, Ms.
I can make it.
Okay, we'll have a quorum.
It's up to you all.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be fine. Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
heads up and
Can
all
I
the
just
work.
ask that they send out a reminder? Thank you.
Ooh.
Like the week before saying, we don't have it this week, but we have it next week. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna make next March meeting for March 14th, which is just the following Tuesday, right? Is that the following, or is it the second Tuesday, following Tuesday? March 14th, 2023 be our next meeting. And then I'd like to introduce Miss Heather Stapleton, the Community Engagement Coordinator from the Indian River Lagoon National Estuary Program and the One Lagoon Program. If you'd like to say hello to everybody.
Hi, I'm Heather Stapleton. I'm one of 3 new community engagement coordinators for the NEP, the IRL Council, and my territory is Cocoa down to the southern Indian River County line. So, a little over half of Brevard and all of Indian River County. Formerly, I was the Director of Education at the Environmental Learning Center for 16 years. And most recently, I was the Executive Director at Vero Heritage for the Heritage Center and Indian River Citrus Museum. And I literally just started about 7 weeks ago. And so I'm just excited to get to know everyone and hear more about the plans for Earth Day. Thank you, Felicia. Hopefully the council can have a booth at Sebastian's Earth Day. As you can imagine, we're being asked to go lots of places, but I live in Indian River County, so I'd love to be here for Earth Day. So like to be invited to that if deemed appropriate, and then just want to work on whatever we can to be helpful. We just went through a bunch of quarterly meetings today, and A lot of the grant proposals were ranked and accepted or recommended to the board for Friday. And our small grants program will be coming out really soon. And so especially want to be communicating that with the schools, with teachers, and, other smaller nonprofits that might want to take advantage of the small grants program. And we do have funding available to help those organizations actually write their grants. So if they need grant assistance, that's funding that the council has always had available. It's not always taken advantage of. So one of the things that the 3 community coordinators want to make sure is happening is that people are at least know about all of the resources that we offer. And so there are now 3 of us. There's Jesse Wales is in Volusia and Northern Brevard County. I'm Coco to Indian River County line, and Kalita Scott will be in St. Lucie and Martin counties. And we're just excited to get out and meet everyone and start, living up to our names, community engagement coordinators.
Excellent, excellent. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Stapleman?
I have a question. Is it possible that we can have some information posted on our NRB website about our new coordinator in this area for that?
I don't see why not. I'll have to get with Heather so we can talk about what exactly would go on the website, and then we'll go over some details and run it by Lisa to make sure that whatever we plan is okay. And yeah, I don't see why we can't make that happen.
I mean, I know we have links to other places on our website, and so just more resources is always good.
Yes. And luckily, that's our main office, in the old schoolhouse. So we're here.
If somebody has to approach you for either writing a grant or one of your grant programs, what would be the first thing they would do?
So the small grant will be released soon, where the Citizens Advisory Council will be discussing the small grant application this Thursday. And then the board will or will not accept it on Friday. Hopefully they will. And then that'll be ready to go out pretty soon. But I would suggest getting with me, making sure they're on our email list, because every time we have either a grant process started or even a request for proposals started, those will be announced. So, and we're going to have a lot of new things. As you probably have heard, there's actually record level funding for the lagoon. And so we're at an interesting point in history where we might not ever get this advantage again. And so we want to make sure that people are availing themselves to those things which might not ever exist again.
I got another question, if nobody else does. Would you be able to work with the city itself for writing grants for protection of properties or anything like that?
So yes, so we offer grant writing assistance. That's something that a consultant does for us. And if we can't write the grant for you, but if the city needs assistance, I mean, I know that the city has written a lot of grants. So I think it was more for folks or organizations that maybe were a little less comfortable writing grants, but if you feel like you need help, it's there.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sticking here.
Ms. Frazier?
I just want to inform you that we have used their services for several grants that we've written for. I can't recall all the ones right now, but you've helped us out, I want to say 3 times, and one we were successful. But you don't help us write the grants for yourself.
Right.
Yeah, so the ones that they post and put out money for, they don't help us write those. But for other organizations, I'm trying to remember which one we got. I think it was a FEMA grant, I want to say, that you all helped us write. 3 times we've reached out, and they've been wonderful, and their grant writers are really, good. So.
And we can also, if it helps your grant writing process, letters of acknowledgement, things like that, if that helps your process, we can do things like that as well. Since we're a national estuary program, that does carry, some weight.
Well, I know the city was looking at different properties along the river, and they're asking too much money for them, things like that. And maybe grants would come into play along those lines to help the city purchase and protect
probably
properties.
not grants from the NEP itself, because I think I know which properties you're referencing, and that's really that's a huge amount of money. But there might be other opportunities for sure.
Any other questions from the board?
Could you tell me when you say small grant, like how much does that
I think the small grant maxes out at like 2,500. I mean, it's small. It's something more for teachers or maybe nonprofits who want to get something started. And we try to guide, because a lot of people applying for those grants might not have ever applied for a grant previously. And so we try to offer some assistance with those. But that should be going out very soon.
And that's yearly?
It is yearly.
Okay.
Yes.
And it looks like your website is onelagoon.org.
That's correct.
And that one is spelled out, O-N-E, lagoon.org.
That's right.
That's where you start.
Yes.
Sign them up. And any other questions for us?
I'm here as a resource.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay, that's our announcements for number 5. Is there any announcements from anybody on the board? Does anybody need to make any announcements? Any art festivals or anything?
Yes, we have an art studio tour in Sebastian this weekend. So, which is, there's pamphlets available up here if you want one, and there's also a website, SebastianArtStudioTour.com, and it's from 10 to 3. Hopefully the weather will cooperate.
All right, let's get out there and buy some art. And then if that's all we have for item 5, we'll move on to item 6. Any agenda modifications? I'm not hearing any. None. Okay, we'll move on to item 7, public input. Any public input? Hi, public. None. Is there anybody online? No?
No, sir.
Gotta ask. Okay, we'll move on to item 8, unfinished business, Earth Day planning. Okay, we're gonna do planning review with board members to report progress updates. And I guess we'll go right to Ms. Frazier on all that.
Good evening, Board. Thank you so much. I want you to know that I know you've been hearing from Felicia, and she's been trying to keep you all, cobbled together and informed with what's going on. I just thought I'd help out this evening in keeping us focused with what she really needs, because what you have in front of you is the whole kitchen sink, okay? And I know we don't want to talk about the whole kitchen sink tonight, so we're going to try to stay with the high-level questions that Felicia needs in order to move forward. Her and I went through everything this afternoon. I think the big burning question is that we have people's names next to assignments, and we want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with those assignments, and that if you have any questions about that, then perhaps we either discuss it now and reassign it, or you please feel free to contact Felicia or myself, and we can work through things, offline here. And I just want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with that stuff. So with Charles's permission, I'm just going to start leading it through.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am, please
okay?
do.
Or do you want to ask your questions now? Or should we just go through each item and move forward? Okay. So for the retail food vendors, Felicia needs to put the applications on the website, and then that's going to trigger everything else that falls below it. Felicia has a multifaceted job, and she's learning on the run, and she's doing fantastic. I just want to say, absolutely fantastic. But, she's got Earth Day, and she's got all the permitting that she has to do, and then she has projects on the side. So we're moving things along. There's assignments underneath. I just want to nod of yes, we're okay with these assignments for, I guess mainly it's Nikki. Yes? You're good?
Yeah, I'll have to get with Felicia about the email account. I had some issues sending the original save the date, but we'll make sure that it works, and I'll work on that second email, yeah.
I did, edit the settings on that, so hopefully you should be able to get into it now. If you do try to get in again and it doesn't work, let me know and I'll fix it.
So just to double check, Felicia, will you let me know when you have the online application, when all of that is ready, so I can send that email out?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay, anything else in that? Okay, good. And then environmental organizations, hey, there's this new person, Heather Stapleton, who we'll add to the list. And I believe that Felicia has sent out, I couldn't open it in the Google Docs, but I'll work on it. But anyways, you all have these spreadsheets, and it should have in it different organizations, and if you want to add some in there, please just add it to the list, and then, Felicia will coordinate from there. Okay? Anything else? No? Okay, waste management, Felicia and Brian met with Debbie Perez. We want to thank Waste Management for all of their cooperation. I don't think anything else has occurred at this point. They're going to be sending out their flyers with the bills, and so everybody will know about it. There is a sister event at Barber Street that day, and we may need to have a volunteer out there or staff, maybe not for the whole time, but at least to check on it periodically. We're just putting that in the hopper so that we keep that alive until that day. Okay? Anything else, dear?
Not for me, but Sheridan does have a question.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So is the paper shredding going to be at the sports complex at Barber?
Go ahead.
Okay, so the household waste is going to be held at the Barber Street Sports Complex. Everything else is going to be at the Cavcore parking lot, which is right next to Speedway in the Riverview Park complex. And I know, Sheridan and Sarah, that you weren't part of the board at this time last year, but they have a particular setup that they're going to use that they've used in previous years, and it works fairly well. They just kind of guide people around the Cavcore parking lot and up through the parking lot to complete the event. And then there's a certain section of that parking lot that's blocked off, so there's a section where people can continue to park, but then there's also the area where people will drive through to do the event.
Oh, and I guess Donna and Charles, printed flyers, are you okay with that assignment? Are you okay, Donna, with?
Sure. Are we going to just do the poster in a smaller size? Is that what we're going to do? Because last year we had posters that we put all around, and I suggested that we make smaller ones because when we have art shows, we have like half of a page size that they can put on their counters, so that like all the restaurants, all the hotels, all down Route 1, I have a whole distribution list. I can certainly take care of getting those distributed, but we need to come up with a plan of who's going to print it.
Well, and I'd like to ask, so are we utilizing the same poster, basically, artwork that we did last time, just change the date?
Are you referring to our Earth Day event poster, or are you talking about just the waste management?
Oh, this is for the waste management. My bad.
Okay.
I apologize.
I don't think we need to put something out with that by itself. I think we need to put out one for everything.
Right. So this, then correct all of us for the printed flyers for waste management. Don't they just make up their own?
Well, they do have the ones that are going out in the bills, so that is.
Isn't that what this is?
They're distributing that. So we can just simply include the waste management event in our event flyer, and then that can encompass this, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm taking Donna and Charles off that one. Sorry, Donna. You and I were both confused. So that's not good. Okay, good. Now we're going to the art club where Donna is in charge. And that is the poster, right? That we do the advertisement stuff. Donna, the art club's going to be, right?
Yeah. So
Do you want us to take over design of it? That's what you're asking?
I believe last year your artwork was used for the background of the flyer. Is that correct?
It was Kim did incorporate one of the pictures that was on our flyer into the big poster. She just kind of brought it in because she had it already set up with all the events and everything. You could probably start with what you had from last year. and we can just give you something else to put on it. Or I do have somebody in my club that does all of our flyers that she, as long as it's, you know, something she can figure out, she can put stuff into it to make it, dress it up a little bit. And then we can get it printed at the sheriff's office. We can take care of all that for this, you know,
Okay.
for around town, for the around town stuff.
Yeah. So I can make sure I give you all the information that you
Yes.
need for it, and then.
And if you just can send me the electronic version of the one from last year,
Oh,
we
yes.
can start with that.
Of course, I can do that.
So then,
Okay.
Donna, what were the Earth Day postcards? I'm looking at what we spent last year. That's my biggest trigger, because we need to get things going as far as.
Yes.
So-
I don't know, unless she made smaller postcards out of that flyer. I don't remember. I gave her the distribution list last year that we use, so she knows who we send stuff to, because that's how we get them down to the park.
Okay.
A lot of people are only here for the week.
We had, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't
go ahead.
interrupt. We had, some small postcards that basically said, Sustainable Sebastian, and it had the different QR codes on the back.
I believe those are actually, there's a little
Right,
stack of them at the
that-
back.
those
I
are
think
the
that
old
might be
postcards.
what.
Is that
Yeah,
what
I
this
don't
is?
remember
that might be
one
what that's
for-
referring
for
to.
And
Earth
so
Day.
we probably need more.
Oh, I'm sure we need more.
Okay, okay, all
Yes.
right, perfect.
Yes.
I was curious about that.
But I will take over advertising the event the way we normally advertise for our art shows you know, with making some kind of postcard thing that we can distribute throughout the city. And we are definitely going to be doing our Lagoon show, and we are doing the poster contest. I reached out to the teacher. She's definitely excited about doing the poster contest again. And we have a couple of artists that will do the face painting, so all that stuff I can confirm. I don't know if we can add another chalk art thing to that for us. I just don't see how it's possible with the face painting and I have to hang the poster contest and all the art that the artists are putting in, so I can't do that for this particular event. Maybe for another event we could add it in. And then I did reach out to the Fine Art and Music Festival people. They haven't answered me yet if they would step up for the prizes again this year. So I'll let you know as soon as they get back to me.
Well, please coordinate with Felicia about the poster, because I know we probably want to get those out sooner than later, I would imagine. And so if you have any costs involved or need assistance with the printing, please coordinate with Felicia and we'll get that rolling.
Okay.
Okay? And
Yep.
in the meantime, you'll take the existing background, make whatever changes, and then coordinate with Donna. Yes? Awesome. And then, okay, I think we're good with the art club, yes? Donna, you're good?
Well, wait,
Donna?
I've got a question.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
I'm so
Donna,
sorry.
I just have a quick question. I know Alexis Peralta from the Stormwater Department used to do the chalk contest. I don't know, I think she was away last year and wasn't able to do it. And I will double check on the list to make sure that she's there and included. But, I mean, I could try and reach out to her and see if she'd be interested in doing that again
That'd be
this
great.
year.
She could
Because
do-
you're not interested, you're not doing
No,
that?
we just
Okay.
can't manage it with everything else.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Okay,
Okay.
all right, yeah.
And I'm sorry, Nicole, who?
Alexis Peralta she's the educator from the Stormwater Division down in the county.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had done the chalk art contest over on, like, the eastern side, the sidewalks that are over there. But I think last year she wasn't available or something like that. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, right, yes, curb. Oh, Sharita. I have no idea what that is. Oh, that's Keep Indian River Beautiful. It's the sister organization for KBB in Brevard County. Keep Brevard Beautiful.
Aren't they the Litter Quitter? Are they the same people? You know, you may want to
That's
switch
correct.
that over to me for Curb, because I'm the Litter Quitter spokesperson, and I haven't been fully trained on that yet.
So do you want to take over that instead of Sharita?
I mean, do you want to do it? As long as you have something to do? Well, no, actually, if that's where you're at on the list and she wants something to do, you can continue doing that if that's what you. Yeah, it's
I
just,
just need to know what I need to do.
Right, well, and I'm not quite sure why this is pulled out separately, but I didn't make this list. I think it was more to confirm that Curb's going to be there and that they'll possibly, you know, have their own booth and really talk about what they do as far as the litter quitter and maybe have some kind of activity. I think that was mainly it, correct? Am I
Yes.
correct?
Don't they also have like a character? Their garbage can
Do they?
person? Isn't that
I'm
them?
not,
That's
I'm not sure 100%.
the county solid
Oh,
waste
it is?
division.
Oh.
That was one of our
I always
other
thought Carter.
characters. We had the
Carter.
gopher
I always thought
turtle.
that was Curb for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's one of those.
Garbage can.
But-
Do you want to still do that, Ms. Billman? Okay, all right, I'll keep you, you're on it then.
So I guess I need to find out who Michael Ansley is?
Yes, so digging through Kim's notes between the beginning of Earth Day planning last year and then the end of Earth Day planning, he was the one who took over at Curb, but I couldn't find his contact information. Curb's, their like general email address is on, actually on our vendor spreadsheet that, so you can find the general email address and maybe get in contact with them that way.
Don't they have a website?
They do, but I just couldn't find his contact info, and because he was the point of contact specifically mentioned in Kim's notes, that's why I called him out in this.
Okay, well, I would start with their website, but, okay. All right, are we ready? Yes?
Everybody okay so far? Any other questions? All right,
Because
we'll
we're
move
on
on
to an important
to beer.
topic, beer. And I asked Josh to please help out Felicia on the Earth Day stuff, and he took over the beer assignment. And I don't see Mark here, but I'm going to turn it over to Josh, who has a lot of great information, and we really wanted your opinion and your input on this tonight as kind of an action, because there's money possibly involved. There's choices that need to be made, and we need to get it before the council sooner than later. Because if the council says, it has to go before council for their approval and support, as you all know. And if that basically falls apart for some reason, then we don't want to expend dollars prior to that or have the Rotary do that. So that's why this is an important topic tonight. Take it away, Josh.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So yeah, I've been working on this with Mr. Gingras from the Rotary Club for a little bit of time now. We're trying to figure out what the board would like to do for cups for this event. We have some reusable Stein type cups that we can do, and some throwaway cups, which are greenware, plant-based, biodegradable. In order to move forward, we want to see where the board wants to go with these cups first and foremost.
Do you want to put them under
Under the projector?
Yeah,
Is there-
yeah,
so
if we can do
display
that.
them?
Do you want us to do it, or you want to do it, or?
Either or.
We might need to ask MIS for assistance.
Can we use the overhead thing, Joseph?
Is this mic on? Yeah. Okay, so this is the first cup that we're looking at. It's a reusable 14-ounce beer stein. I wrote down the quantity that Mark was stating that we would need for the event. We're looking at 500 quantity for this cup. Total cost would be about $201. Now these cups, keep in mind, we're gonna do the Sustainable Sebastian logo as well as the Rotary logo on the cups. For that, the cost would be right at about $1,005 for 500 cups. And the Rotary would ask that we cost share on those cups for them to get those cups, basically. The second set of cups we have that you can choose from, the sustainable cups, biodegradable, would be these here. Same thing, 500 quantity, 63 cents a piece. They would have both logos on it as well. the Rotary Club would actually pay for these cups themselves, so no cost to us.
Josh, may I ask, though, a clarification? Didn't the Rotary say that neither of them would be refillable? Is that correct? So you could buy the plastic stein, but you can't go back and refill it? Or what is their decision on that?
We were going for the refillable on the stein. I'd have to confirm that a little bit with Mark to where they would go with that. The other cups would not be refillable. These are throwaway cups here, the greenware cold cups. So it's one use.
How did you come up with the quantity, 500?
Mark from the Rotary Club from previous events, he basically said that they don't ever sell more than that. They get a small quantity of beer with the kegs. And he said he'd be surprised if they sold more than 200 to 300 cups for this event. Any other questions?
I do.
Oh, hold on one second.
Yes, so could we do both? It's on.
Oh,
I mean, because if they're paying for the paper ones, that's a no-brainer. But if we have the refillable steins, and then do they get like a break on refilling them? So if they pay, I don't know how much you pay for, if somebody were to come up and buy a stein of beer, how much would that cost? And then if they come back, do they get some discount on it?
So
Do they buy it themselves, actually, is what it would help.
Sure, yeah, we started to talk about that. I didn't get fully into that before the meeting, so I'd have to go back to that and get an answer for you on that. As per doing both cups, I'm not sure that they would want to do that because they're going to pay for that one cup themselves, or they possibly would take the money from that one cup and put it into the reusable, and then we'd cost share. So I'm not sure if they'd want to do a mixture. I can definitely ask that, though.
Well, let's open it up to the board for discussion, see where we're at as a board on either reusable cups or the logo with the sustainable cups. And then we'll start down with Ms. Hagerty and any questions and
I didn't notice,
comments.
are they the same amount, the same ounce cups?
Nope, the beer stein, the 14 ounce reusable. Sorry. So the greenware cup is 16 ounce. The reusable would be 14 ounce. Okay, so there's a difference in size, a couple ounces.
Ms. Hagerty, do you have any additional questions? We'll come back, and you can think about it further. We're going to come back. We're going to get everybody's questions out. Ms. Billman?
I would probably go with the disposable ones.
Is there a reason for that you would do that over the?
Well, I can't see, I mean, granted, because we don't know if they're going to do one or the other. And so if they're not going to do both, I would prefer both myself. That way, if somebody wants to purchase one and get a little bit of a discount, and then, but they're basically paying for the recyclable mug, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Otherwise, I would just go with the one that's a throwaway. So, but I would like to see both of them, so they have an option, and pay a little bit more for the plastic mug that they can keep. You know.
Do you have any additional questions, Ms. Billman? Ms. Mosbuck?
Yeah. I think this is a really hard one for me because I feel like I'm always a Debbie Downer. But I don't know personally. I know that I'm probably going to be overruled by this, but I don't know that this is really in line with the Earth Day theme. But I very much, and I mean no offense because I really appreciate the research done into the reusable and the greenware cups. I don't know, are the greenware cups, are they recyclable? I'd be willing to bet probably not. And that's, probably because they're the biodegradable.
Yeah, it doesn't say whether they're recyclable.
Okay.
It just says that they're plant-based resins that are domestically grown,
Yeah.
eco-friendly, biodegradable, and 100% compostable.
In
Nothing about
industrial.
Isn't that
recyclable.
good?
Well, sorry, I'm sorry, I mean, you guys, everyone has their own opinion, but with the compostable, one of the things is that it's only in industrial, you can't throw that in your home composting bin.
Oh.
It won't compost under those conditions. I think if we were going between the two, my vote would probably be for those, well, because I don't know how many people are really gonna keep the steins. And I would really hate to see them piling up in the trash bins as people are leaving. So I think if it was between those two, I think that would be my vote. But yeah. But thank you for the research you did. I really don't mean to sound ungrateful.
Understandable, thank you.
And absolutely, you don't sound ungrateful, and your input is most important because the image we project from Natural Resource Board represents City of Sebastian. So if we're out there putting in candy wrappers all over the ground, remember? Yeah. And plastic cups and various other weapons of mass destruction for the environment, that doesn't really fit into what we're trying to do either. If we can find other options that are better while we go through this next month, because it looks like we got about a month before everything's really written in stone. Now, when they say compostable, how long does it take them for them to break down? Do you know?
I can't answer that, I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll research it if you'd like.
Well, and when we're talking to people and they're like, they got the cups because, just like Ms. Mosblick says, what they really ask us about these things while we're there. Nobody will mention this before, and they'll just see it while they're there, and then they'll be like, oh, what about these plastic cups? And well, they're compostable, they're biodegradable. And then they're like, well, how long does that take? How many centuries do you have? Oh, well, that's not really what we're trying to accomplish. But until then, Ms. Ware, do you have any questions?
I agree with Nikki as far as, I don't see people carrying those mugs around with them through the whole day. I think even if they're gonna get them refilled, which I think that's probably a health department standard, that they're not gonna be able to refill them. So I vote for the green cups.
Ms. Callahan?
Ditto. I also look at our budget, and if I recall, we have a couple thousand, 2,000, and typically our music, sound system, all that takes half. And so would I want to be spending on this? I lean toward monetarily also, heading toward the green cups.
And I just looked up in Robert's rules, and ditto is on page 13. Mr. Bradley?
I would agree with the majority of the board in that at least half of those plastic steins are going to just wind up in the garbage. So I would vote for the compostable or biodegradable cups.
Are there any additional questions for Josh?
One more question. Couldn't we do
Aggie.
paper cups? Would that be better? Is that a possibility? Like, don't they make compostable coffee cups that we could just, pour beer into?
Yeah, I can go back to Mark on that. These are the cups that they researched to bring into this event, but I can go back and we can look at, a biodegradable or something, paper cup. Absolutely.
One more question.
Yes, ma'am.
We already have waste management there. Do they do industrial composting? Like if we had a particular collection place for the cups?
I don't know the answer
Nobody
to
knows?
that,
Okay.
but I don't think so because I've
I feel
never
like paper
taken them
cups
anything.
would be ideal.
Okay, so we can do some more research now. There's nothing stopping us as individuals also to look for something. We can also find our own cups And again, we're trying to, set an example and do what's right by this, as we go along. Any additional questions? Okay, do we want to take a consensus vote on this? This way we can just wrap up the cups. It looks like if we can get a yay for the sustainable green cups to the right, if I can have a yay for that, just a voice vote.
Yay.
Yay. A nay against the green cups? Okay, it looks like we would like not to have the plastic cups. We like the sustainable, green, biodegradable, compostable this century cups.
I just have one other comment or suggestion. If we're getting those cups, do we want to have the Sustainable Sebastian logo on it? For several reasons, but one, they could use these, I'm assuming the Rotary does this for other events as well, and that way you're not limiting them, then they don't become trash outright. So if they can be used for other events, I don't know if that's possible or worth considering, I don't know.
Rotary does do a lot of different events, and they just hand out everything. It almost doesn't matter what's there. If it's in the bucket, we're going to hand it out. So if it has our name on it, then great. Sustainable Sebastian. We'll only have X amount of them left over. And I thought maybe there may have been an issue with all the ink print, with all the ink being printed out there, but I'm sure being sustainable and biodegradable, they've thought about that. But that's a valid point. I mean, Rotary will hand out anything that's in the box.
Do we have to have that on there? I mean, is it cheaper not to have it engraved or in monogrammed, whatever?
I mean, I don't necessarily think we have to have that logo on there. We kind of, I guess, came together and pitched that logo on there, to show that it's an event for that, to have that logo there. But I can go back and, it's up to you guys. We don't have to have that logo on there. I don't know about the Rotary on their decision, what they want to do with their logo, but whatever you guys want to do, we'll do.
Do you guys want the logo on the cup? You want to take a consensus vote on that real quick? Ms. Hagerty, what do you think? Well, you can go yay or nay.
Well, is the Rotary Club paying to have the logo put on there? Then why not? So I would say yes.
Ms. Millsplay?
I'm going to go for no, just because
Okay.
I don't want it ending up in the lagoon with our logo on it.
Okay. Ms. Hagerty, are you an alternate or are you full member yet?
I think I'm an alternate.
Still an alternate? Okay. Ms. Billman, you're a full member though, right? Okay. Okay, so I'll go with the logo. I'll say yes for logo. Ms. Ware?
I say yes for logo.
And Ms. Callahan?
I'm sorry, I'm torn. I see two sides of it. I actually, from a lot of training in my past, was like, do not show up with things emblazed that say who you are or what you're from into that cup having, if it ends up in the wrong place and then it's emblazed with Sustainable Sebastian on it. So I'm torn.
Well, if
Say
I'm
no.
always torn like that, I would go with no, because then you know. And that's okay too. I mean, if it's no, then we appreciate the input, and that's what we're all here for. And that's really what we're going to do. And Marcus?
I would vote yes for the logo, and I am an alternate.
Okay. Now we got a no, yes, no, yes. So 3, and then so 3, 2, yes. It looks like. Is that right, Janet? Okay. All right. So we're going to go with the logo then. Thanks everybody for your input. It's not easy sometimes. Sometimes we do things that are a little confrontational, but that's what we're here for. And that's one of the things that it's actually one of the things that I've had to learn, because my idea of confrontation is scorched earth policy. So I've had to learn that to work with everybody. And Ms. Mosblick, Teacher of the Year, we have scientists down here. I mean, so I obviously know when I'm outclassed. Okay. That takes care of the cups and the logo? Do you need anything else from us, Josh?
No, that'll take care of it, and thank you to the board.
Thank you very much. And we'll move on to IRC unit standby request form.
Thank you, and I wanted to thank Josh. He's really worked hard in working with Felicia on getting this done for her. And I want to thank the Rotary Club. I mean, really, they're stepping right in. So, again, we'll bring this to the City Council in the very near future, and
Mash Monkey is the one who's going to be, I believe they're the providers, Mash Monkey is?
The provider from Mark right now is going to be JJ Taylor. They may or may not donate the beer, but as far as I know, it's going to be JJ Taylor.
JJ Taylor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm not. All right. Thank you.
okay, so anyways, moving on to all the permitting, that's under Felicia and Ron Paul's bailiwick there, and they'll take care of everything, no concerns here. And then entertainment's the next big one. Sarah, oh, that's hi. Are you comfortable with working with Brian, or would you like to give some kind of update, or?
I'm perfectly comfortable working with Brian, and pretty much everything is just falling into place for that. I did hear back from the band director, so we should have the jazz band and the steel pans, and then the return of all of our bands from before. And then I believe, Felicia, you talked to the Tai Chi people, and they want to come back too. So really, it was like start the engine, and it took off on its own. So we're all good there.
The biggest concern, at least on my end of things, is the cost when it comes to the entertainment. So the Tai Chi demo, that's not something we're paying for. They're just coming out to do the demonstration. But all the performers and plus Chaos Sound. Have you happened to hear from Chaos Sound at all?
That's the only person who I haven't gotten in contact yet. But I wasn't aware that we paid them as well.
Yeah, last year they did pay them. It's been suggested to me that we pay them the same as last year. I don't know if that's appropriate, but it's well within our funds to be able to do exactly what we did last year. If we tried to do more, it may extend but depending on how much we're required to pay them to have them there.
Do you have the contracts written up and sent out to them, anybody yet?
We've just sent them proposals, so that for them to fill out to say, we want to participate in the event, and then we'll sign official contracts.
Yeah. Perfect, okay, all right.
I think the only person who we haven't heard back from yet is maybe Mojo Mike, but he did actually email me and said he was at a funeral and that he would get back to me as soon as he got home. So everybody else has returned and pretty much confirmed.
Now, I did kind of a mini draft of what the schedule could theoretically look like, and without Mojo Mike, we're full. So it depends, I guess, on whose proposals we receive sooner rather than later. So if Mojo Mike turns in his proposal before someone else, then, we'll discuss at that time, how many proposals we have, and then move forward with the ones we want to select. So. And is that something we need to bring before the board? Do you guys want to choose the bands and the performers that are coming, or are you okay with Sarah and I selecting whoever submits sooner rather than later?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to hear back from the band director, so I also asked, and I don't know if you guys are going to be familiar with, one is Kevin LaRue, who played with Old Barber Bridge, and he also played with Pete, and I cannot remember his last name right now, to whom the fountain is dedicated at the park. Pete, I cannot remember his last name. Anyways, and then I also asked another singer-songwriter, Rebecca McIlvain, who writes songs that are very on brand for for the Earth Day event. So, but I know the people who have played previously, they've been playing for quite a few years. So I mean, really, I guess it just depends on who gets back or what you guys think, yeah, who signs up. There wasn't a lack of responses. I was a little concerned, like, that it would be a difficult thing to get musicians, but it was not, so.
Well, and I'd like to suggest that, you can work with the times. I think some performers were like 2 hours, maybe one was an hour. But I mean, we can work with the times if we feel the need to slide somebody else in. Or if one of the performers is I'm making this up, a walking minstrel player. I made that up. But I mean, they could be walking around at the same time as somebody on stage. Seriously, I just made that up.
I guess that would depend on what we have in our budget after we.
That's a great idea. We'll leave it up to you and Felicia.
Just to throw this in there, when I did my draft, I drafted it with each person at an hour, or each musician at an hour of time. Now, we could block it differently, but that was just the way I did it, especially with the Tai Chi demo starting and ending around, between 9 and 10 a.m. So that was our starting place, and because they're set in stone, everything else will follow thereafter, however we need it to.
One thing I was thinking about as far as the 1 hour is how large the band is. Mm-hmm. So that's easy for people who are just, a couple people or one person and a guitar, and then if they're a full-on band, because I believe at least the Robert Johnson band is a rather large band. I did look them up on Facebook just to see like what kind of was going on, but I don't know if that's what they plan to bring. So I guess that's a good question for us to ask them. What?
Well, you have them playing for an hour, right? You have them performing for an hour. That's your itinerary?
That was the idea, based, just my
They'll
rough
set up
sketch
in
of the
between,
schedule.
and when they're setting up, that's when I'm talking and, messing with everybody.
I guess it was really rather like if it was worth their effort to bring a whole drum kit.
Oh, yeah,
for
they
1
do.
hour.
They bring a whole drum kit. They're fully set up. We had a couple of the bands, and then, however, the band will know how to set themselves up, too.
Well, I just meant monetarily, I guess.
Well,
If they
that's a
wanted to
different
only
question.
take $100 to set up a
Right.
whole drum kit and only play for
Right.
1 hour, I guess.
So I believe that, the two of you working on getting that list together and then trying to see how it figures out and works in our budget, I think, I think you guys are on the right track for the considerations of who would work in there and who would not,
Are there any other questions about entertainment? Ms. Billman?
I just was curious, we just have a budget of $2,000, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I guess I don't know how much bands get paid. But
So
anyway.
in the previous years, each band was paid $100 per hour. So some of the bands played for 2 hours, they got $200. Some of them played for 1 hour and they only got $100. So it depended on the time frame. So this year we've kept consistent and then just kept it at 100 proposed per hour.
Plus the sound
Thank you.
system.
Plus whatever Chaos Sound will be paid. So then it's a little bit different because the performers we were paying per hour, whereas Chaos Sound, they were paid one solid rate for the entire day.
Are there any additional questions for entertainment?
John O'Connor is, that's Chaos Sound.
Okay, if not, we'll move on to your website, NRB website. Ms. Fraser?
Well,
That, once we get once I work with Donna on getting that flyer created, then I'll upload that to the website and we'll have that taken care of. And then also of course, on here is the fillable vendor applications. Those are in the works right now. So once I have those, I'll upload them and then Nikki can start working on the rest of the vendor related things. And then, if there's any other updates that we need to put on the website, if there's anything you guys think of that's really pertinent that goes on the website that I haven't thought of, please let me know, and I'll just continue to keep it updated.
Could we get is the current date for the new Earth Day on there now? Okay, because I was looking, I was like, it wasn't there, and I'm like, oh, this last year. At least we can get the date and time and that kind of stuff out there. It's back to you, Ms. Fraser.
I can't get my thing up here. Well, the raffle, so you have Ruth, Nikki, and are you all comfortable with those assignments?
Yeah, we've both done that before. The only thing that's not included on the list is we want to make sure that we have those tickets. So it's you're able to put the name on 2 spots, you rip the ticket apart, and so.
Oh, the raffle tickets?
Yeah, there's, a roll of them, and you rip up the ticket so people come by. Do you have extras from years
Yes,
before?
actually, there's still a roll from last year. It's in the list of supplies that we have like a whole event closet full of our NRB stuff. And there's a box specifically for the raffle stuff, and it has the remainder roll. I haven't stopped to count how many tickets there are, but I think there'd be more than enough for the event.
The thing about Charles and making the announcements, that's great, but I think we've also found that we were very successful because of, trying to keep on a schedule that the person will write their cell phone. They had to be there, but we would try to do it by, texting them to that cell phone number so that they could come up and get it and not have to necessarily interrupt the flow of the program. So making the announcements on the hour,
It went real well.
it went real well on the
Yeah.
texting part.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we'd probably do that. That's what we've done in the past 2.
Okay. The on the hour, every hour on the hour idea actually came from Kim's notes from last year. I guess you guys had like a post-event note taking, and she included in there that it should be every hour on the hour and that the person should be present to win. So I'm not sure, because it sounds like you're comfortable with something different, so I'm not
No,
sure.
that's about what it is, because you're saying the bands play for an hour. They're both saying the same thing. And then what actually happens is that we'll get all the gifts from the vendors that are gonna donate it. We start raffling it off, and we get the ticket. They get their ticket, we get their phone number on the ticket. And then as the day goes by, we're just basically texting it to the ticket and whatever we gotta do on stage. But it is, like you're saying, in between the bands, on the hour, and it'll flow just like you're saying. You're both saying the same thing. It's just how it works out.
Okay, so you're not announcing it on stage then, you're just texting them on the hour, and how much time, once you send out that text, do you give for a person to respond, say, I'm on my way to grab my thing, or before they pick it up? Do you have like a cap on that, so that way
They
you
can actually
get rid of all
come
the
to
prizes?
City Hall to get their gift at that point. There's really no time limit. We send it out to them.
Charles, I don't know that we do that.
Yeah, we don't want that, but they could. We want them to come up to the table and get it right then and there, because we're gonna text it to them, and generally everybody has. There were some that came back to City Hall, but
I think you just gave them till the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And if they didn't come, it ended up in Kim's office, and
that's what happened.
Or
I
they
still
responded
have
and
something
said,
in the office
I'm
from
not
last
there
week.
anymore, and then we would put that item back into the pool of raffle
And
gifts.
just keep sending it out.
Yeah. And I think every hour on the hour, what you basically recognize is the businesses that were offering those prizes, so that those businesses get the recognition. Yeah.
right, it's part of their marketing, yeah.
Right,
That's
yes.
right.
Yeah, because we really ran into issues where Charles would say the names or the ticket numbers, and people were all, over by the food trucks, and they couldn't hear, so we just felt it was fairer.
No, I like that. I like that texting that's perfect.
Does anybody have any additional questions for the raffle for Ruth and Nikki?
What am I being asked for the sign?
So, per Kim's notes from the post-event last year, I guess you guys didn't have a sign at the booth last time explaining what the raffle was for, and so nobody, I guess, really knew what the event was about. So if you could just create something that's like, oh, hey, we have a raffle with gifts from our vendors that are here at the event, and kind of give, and once we have the list of vendors, then maybe we can include like the actual prizes that are available on there, so it kind of entices people and actually gets people to participate in the raffle if they didn't otherwise know about it.
If we have a big prize, like one year we did, but we won't be able to itemize the gifts because we won't know what they are till the day of when they donate them. I mean, yeah, you could put something else describing it if that's what you would like. And
Yeah.
I think
Hey,
closer
this is
to the
raffle.
event, we'll have a better idea of
Yeah.
what's needed for that. I don't,
So yeah, it's not pertinent right this second, so I'll keep you updated on once we get more information.
Okay, I'm on board with that. The proceeds from the raffle go to what exactly?
There's no money
I'm sorry?
involved.
It's all free.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a free
Yeah.
raffle, okay.
Yeah,
Those-
so the vendors just, out of the willingness and kindness of their hearts, give us things to raffle off, and then they just get the exposure from that. So there's no money, no exchange on any of our parts for that, so.
Okay,
and we also don't charge for the vendors.
right. Okay, yes, I can do that.
Just a minute, if we could have somebody turn the air down just a little bit, it got a little cool in here. And, if we could just turn that down just a little bit. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Are you being facetious, sir?
No.
That's why I wear big, I know, it's freezing. I would have a
No,
winter
it's a little cool in
jacket.
here right now. Or turn it up, I mean. That's really what I'm saying. Turn it off. Well, or not off, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, back to Ms. Frazier.
All right, so Charles, you're good with, of course, being the master of ceremonies?
Yes.
The master?
Yes?
And then the be the gopher, that again is just our, you guys can take turns or volunteers in front of the gopher tortoise little tunnel thing, which I think is very popular with the children, if I'm correct, yes?
Yes.
But again, not that important tonight. Scavenger hunt, do we need to address that this evening? I don't think so, right?
That can probably wait. The only thing related to that is if we were going to get special prizes for that weren't donated by the vendors, then we would need to do the research for that. And then confirming where we're getting the grand prize, because in Kim's notes, she said that it had been donated by Sebastian Daly, and I don't know how we obtained that last time, so I'm sure one of you knows more about that than I do.
Sarah, your name is next to it, so.
I don't know anything about it, but
Okay,
I'm
shall
happy
we have
to
somebody else?
contact somebody.
Anybody have a good relationship?
I
or
do.
A relationship?
With Andy at Sebastian
Would you
Daily.
mind, Charles,
Do you want me to
checking
do
in
that, or
on
do you want to
that?
do it, Sarah? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put my name on that then.
And then Ruth, did we actually buy prizes? I mean, the bike, but,
Yeah, there was the bike, and then I thought we had the donation from last year from Andy as our big giveaway, but
Right.
so
I
we
thought
never bought, but we've never bought prizes, right?
we did. We bought that bike out of our
We bought the
funding a
bike.
couple of years back.
Right. I thought we were gonna maybe consider going with a state park pass or something instead of a bike.
Well, you know what, how about if we wait until we, everything's added up, and then maybe we can look closer to the date to see where we are with funds.
All right.
I think in years past, this was probably 2 years ago, because I did miss last year, but Mel Fisher's museum donated some passes and gift
Yeah, and we got
certificates.
something from the bowling alley, and we got something from a couple of the
And from Captain Harem's.
and the ice cream shops, but,
I
we
went out and
went
actually
around.
got them
Yeah.
donated.
Right.
So then is
happy
this
to ask
assignment like for all of
people.
you, just to ask people do they want, we have the vendor stuff, and that's part of the scavenger hunt, am I correct?
That's part of our raffle.
Just the raffle?
Yes.
But then these items would be part of the scavenger hunt down on
And the
Dr.
prizes
Head?
and everything goes along with that.
And more kid-oriented.
I gotcha. Yes.
Didn't I see on our spreadsheet, didn't the ELC do the scavenger hunt? I thought that I read that. No, okay.
So we do a scavenger hunt, and winners of the scavenger hunt get prizes that are donated in the general community. Am I
Right.
got that right?
That's correct.
And all of you are going to kind of take it upon yourselves to ask places you frequent to
I thought
do
we only
such.
gave out one.
I'm sorry, Ruth.
I
go
thought
ahead.
there was only one,
Oh, there's only one.
there was a winner. Am I wrong?
There was one big prize, and then there was other prizes that went down the list. Like, I know Sebastian Daly gave away their big prize, whatever that was. And then I remember we got prizes from Mel Fisher's museum, and I think we just gave them away as they went down the,
I thought those were all part of the raffle that we gave out those smaller ones. I thought that the main prize went for,
poster contest, that's it.
We,
correct.
last year, we got gift cards donated from the Fine Art Music Festival that went to the winners of the poster contest. And I reached out to them to ask if they would do it again this year, but that's just to encourage the kids to participate in the poster contest. So
So it sounds like we need to clean up that process a little bit.
Yeah.
Before our next meeting, decide where we're gonna hand out our prizes, if we're just gonna have
Yes.
one grand prize. And then we need to know if we need to go get donations.
Yes, please.
So you'll reach out to Andy?
Yeah,
And
and
we'll
I'll,
go from
I'll
there?
put my name there, yep, and I'll reach out to Andy.
Because at this point, I'm hearing that there's the raffles from the vendors.
Yep.
I'm hearing there's one for scavenger, and that's usually the big kahuna prize, right? And then there's the poster contest prize. So that's it, right?
Right.
But the raffle of the community at large, like, let's say Mel Fisher's, thing, entrance tickets, would that be part of the raffle, or it could be part of something else?
We can decide wherever we want to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
That could be a last minute.
okay, perfect. I like it, all right.
Is everybody okay with this so far? Everybody? All right.
Just because I wasn't here, how does the scavenger hunt work? You have one winner? And is it a timed event, or how does that work?
The last time we had a board with a lot of different items on it, and then they went searching for the items on there, and not everybody found the items, and in the end, if it came out to be a tie, we drew somebody out. But generally speaking, it really wasn't too much of a problem. Everybody handed stuff in, and then we just handed out prizes as the boards came back with the right answers.
We notified after the event. So Kim actually did the notification and made sure that that prize got to the person. But we collected the scavenger hunt results at the end of the day. So they were collected all through the day. There wasn't an announcement. I guess we did for the bike.
At the very end, just for the bike.
We drew it then.
Yeah.
But it's a drawing then.
Yeah.
If you need to have a completed form and then it's random selection.
Right. And again, we can work out any bumps in the road between now and this next month going forward. And if something just falls flat altogether, it's not the worst thing to happen either. So it's going to be a great day. Ms. Frazier, back to
Okay,
you.
so vendor activities, I don't think that we need to know that until we get the vendors. The living docks, Jeff nor Thomas are here tonight, so we'll talk to them about that at I think offline. Felicia can reach out to them. Volunteers, Ruth and Sharita, are you comfortable with putting together that volunteer list? And
So last year, I reached out to the answer is yes, Boys and Girls Club and Sebastian Charter Middle, and we got flooded with more volunteers than we had activities to do. I'm not thinking that we need to reach out to a large list of people. Both have students that are willing to come and help out. What we need is more tight coordination, getting that info from the various vendors and seeing what activities they may have so we can appropriately assign the students to those activities. We were very late in knowing that one-to-one relationship pretty much at the event last year and the years before. So I can reach out to those two. I have their contacts already, Sherry, and then from the volunteers, they show up. The only thing that's new here to me is we've never had them sign hold harmless. Is that a new city requirement?
I always thought that was a requirement.
I included that because I didn't see it anywhere, and I figured it needed to be done, because everybody who does something in participation with the city typically has to sign a hold harmless. Like, somebody, if we were to have participated in the parade, the Christmas parade last year, there would have been a hold harmless for, like, to cover the NRB, but also just anybody, any person in town who would participate in an event like that has to sign the hold harmless. So
Well,
I
I'll
think that
check
that's
with the
necessary.
attorney on that and make sure that is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did somebody say that was for sure?
No, nobody has
Okay.
confirmed that.
Okay, so I'll confirm with the attorney and get back with Felicia on that.
And anybody have any other questions for volunteers for Ruth or anybody? Back to Ms. Frazier.
I do one.
Oh,
Again,
sorry.
Not having done this before, because Ruth and I are both on this, are we allowed to talk in regards to this event before,
So what will
outside of
happen,
council?
unfortunately, no. But you can talk in this venue, but like Ruth will be sending information to Felicia, and, Felicia will share with you then.
Okay, so
If there's
we don't-
something that, or if you have an idea for the volunteers or a group that you'd like to wrangle in there, please share it with Felicia, and then, we can talk that way.
Okay.
I know it's cumbersome.
It's a good question, though.
But it's an important question, but I mean, it's,
Out of curiosity, to that extent, since, talking to Felicia to get messages across, could they just be in one group email with Felicia?
yes, you can.
And that
So,
would
and a
be-
lot of times, what we do is, it's called blind carbon copy. Okay, so Felicia will send the entire board the same pertinent information. You're all blind to each other's emails. So if you reply all, it doesn't go to you. Okay, it only goes back to Felicia and myself, or Felicia and Josh, or whomever, right? Whoever's on the to and the CC. So the blind carbon copy is just blind, and you're all blind to replying to each other. So that's always good. So like Felicia will send out the board packet to you, or, the spreadsheets, and that's where she'll be, that's how you'll be communicating.
But I
And-
mean, if just Ruth and Sharita wanted to talk about the volunteer stuff, could they do that through Felicia, or is that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
But I mean, just like as if you were on a group text, is that?
No, what I'm saying is that, Ruth will share information or fill out, in the spreadsheet, information regarding volunteers. She'll send it to Felicia. Felicia
Okay,
can
okay,
then,
okay.
say to Sheridan, do you have anything to add?
Okay.
And, I
I got
know
you
it's
now.
cumbersome, I know, but at least this way, then we have a record of the conversation, and we all have your blessing that this is what you two are agreeing to do, but you're doing it. And then you have to avoid that she's a conduit. It gets a little cumbersome, but we're doing the best we can. And so that's why it's really great. In the next meeting, what we'll want to do is that we'll have your spreadsheets, and so you guys can then put it in there, and then we can share from the spreadsheets and work from that. I think that's how Kim used to do it. Am I correct?
I don't know if she had we have the vendor spreadsheets.
That's what I'm saying. And the volunteer spreadsheets, and then everybody can look at them together.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, yeah, I can create a volunteer spreadsheet that everybody has access to, and, we can go from there as far as whatever your volunteer needs are. Since I'm not sure exactly, besides contacting the Boys and Girls Club, I don't know if you'd have like a list of individuals, or they would just show up the day of the event, and then we would go from there.
Yeah. So that's why I'll check with the hold harmless. It may just be with the Boys and Girls Club. You see what I'm saying? And that's it. It won't be for each individual or anything.
Yeah, we didn't get lists in advance either from the volunteers to know how many exactly were coming. They gave us a range. So the day of, you end up kind of trying to make that all match up last minute. So that's how that has always gone. One other thing is that in reaching out to the volunteer people that we would ask to volunteer, they always ask, can you send the flyer? So they print it at their end and hand it to the parents, and then, because parents are always involved in all this.
Perfect.
So I'm looking for that flyer as well.
Right.
That's
I think you're
a
figuring
rate
out
limiting
which-
step, I guess you call it.
Yes. Okay, and then, the NRB booth, we'll all be manning it, femaling it, I don't know what you want to say. The wildflower seeds is what I wanted to talk about, though. We have packets, empty packets. Do we want to, you know, then we'll have to go and buy some native wildflower seeds, and then we'll have to all get together and coordinate putting it together. I want to know if we want to do that. I'm sorry, ma'am. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Charles. I'm not trying to wrangle your meeting from you.
I'm sorry. I was listening to you, and I was waiting for you to finish, and then ask the board if they want to do the flowers or not, and then we can move on from there.
Well, I did speak briefly to Donna Halloran from the Audubon Society, and they do have the trees. But I think I didn't get a chance to finish up talking with her about the seeds, so I'll find out about that. Isn't that who we got the seeds from in the past? We bought them?
Now, from the Audubon, they came right from Audubon?
Oh, she bought them.
I thought so, yeah.
And I personally think that it's a big deal, giving out the wildflower seeds. I think we should do it, and I won't have any problems putting them in the packets if you get them, but we have to have them a couple weeks ahead of time at least. Okay?
But I'll check with her, and I don't know if there was a resource that she was using to buy the seeds from.
It was just an Amazon. She had Florida wildflower seeds.
Okay, I'll check into that. I'll do the wildflower thing.
Well, let me ask as a board, do we want to do the seeds again as a packet? All right. It looks like we do. Okay. So whatever we gotta do.
About the seeds, there's also, because of the NRB Gmail account, or I guess, I don't know, Kim subscribed to the Save Our Monarchs website, but they have seed packets of their own, but in that case, the seed packets are pre-made. But we have a bunch of empty packets that we could utilize, and we also have a bunch of labels that we could put on the packets that say this packet contains native wildflower seeds. So, you know, if we do get, you know, like I know, Sharda, you had mentioned that you had zinnia seeds, which I don't know if we could put that label on those packets if they contain the zinnia seeds, but we could still do that if that, you know, was, if they were the only seeds we had, you know, whether budget or just happenstance or something. But, you know, Save Our Monarchs and the Amazon that Kim did buy from previously are at least two options that I know of off the top of my head.
Can I just add something about the butterflies? In my experience, it's, again, the native milkweed is not something that grows well in most people's yards to begin with. And the native milkweed is like one plant that will attract a butterfly that will lay eggs on it, and then they have not enough food to eat anyway. So I would be more a proponent of just flowers as a food source for the butterflies as opposed to a host plant for them to lay their eggs. Because the native plants, they're weeds. They really are. The ones that, most of the butterflies that you see, the little ones and stuff, they don't lay their eggs on, they're on the roadsides and stuff like that, things that get mowed all the time. So it's not like a real pretty flower or a real pretty plant that people really want in their yard. And you'd have to have like a field of them to sustain mass quantities of monarchs for food purposes. So I'm kind of divided on it myself. But personally, I think just having flowers, if you have native flowers, that's fine, but not necessarily specifically for the monarchs. Because the monarchs, they'll nectar on any flower, but they'll eat only one as a caterpillar. With all the caterpillars. So, but anyway.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
This isn't really a solution, but I did notice driving down 95 that St. Lucie has started putting wildflowers in the medians, and now it says do not mow. So somebody must be making.
They're just not mowing.
No. That's an actual project on the highway project. You'll see signs there that says the Eisenhower Highway Beautification Project.
Well, they have, but they're not necessarily.
They're everywhere, all up and down the highway
In
system.
North Carolina, you'll see where they'll have wildflowers just growing in the median.
I just
Fields
assumed
of them.
somebody went like and had like a bulk bag of seed. Like
No.
I'm imagining Johnny Appleseed.
That's so nice. Back to Ms. Frazier.
Okay, I think I flipped the page, yes. So the stormwater booths, that's just us, and then advertising is Donna. And are we back to the posters and the flyer? Am I correct? And Donna, are you comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the cost
Okay, so what we typically do is we use the sheriff's office to print them, and what they ask us for is paper, twice the amount of paper that they print on. So say we do 1,000 flyers, okay, then there's 500 sheets of paper in a ream, and we have to give them 4 reams of paper, and that's about $10 a ream.
Well, I mean, the city buys in bulk, so it might be cheaper.
They
I
have to
don't
have
know.
the special kind of paper for their presses. Their presses have to have a certain weight. It's not just regular copy paper.
Okay.
It's got to be 24 pound. I don't know if the city has 24 pound. Most of the time it's 20 pound that most copiers use, but it makes their presses work good, so we don't complain about it.
It's free.
I just don't see the cost in here. That's what's so funny.
So it would, like I said, if we did 1,000 flyers, which are probably going to do more than that, probably do 2,000 flyers. This is just a rough estimate.
Okay.
And we do 2 of them to a page. Okay, so that's 1,000 pages is 2 reams times 2 is 4 reams. So that's like $40.
Okay.
That's basic.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's great information. I guess I'm not seeing it in our printout here, and I'm wondering.
Well, last year the club, our club paid for it. We did it.
Okay, but you won't be doing that this year.
Well, we can do the basic flyers, but if we're doing posters, I think Kim printed them out here.
Okay.
We got that really nice printer.
Yep, we
here.
absolutely do.
So
Absolutely.
Felicia can do the printing of the posters here, and we can do the flyers.
Okay, good to know. Okay. You got that? We're gonna get Ross involved now.
Oh, yes.
Any additional questions for Donna for advertising? Back to Ms. Frazier.
I do not understand, create school board color flyer. I don't know what that is. That's something new that I never saw before. I don't know.
That, I believe, was in Kim notes from last time. I've been talking to Ron Paul, who you guys may know from our front desk, about what that entails, and he has the contact at the school district to have a copy, like a version of the flyer put into the virtual backpack. I don't know. I don't exactly know what her, because this is her wording from last time, so I don't know exactly what she meant
Well,
by that.
I think it's kind of too late to do that if you have to go through the school board to get it approved to put in the backpacks. I don't see how you're going to get it done that fast, but we didn't do any magazine advertising. That's very expensive. I'm sure that Sebastian Daly will at least put out the day of events for us. Okay. The rest of it I'm okay with. It's just that virtual thing I don't see. And like I said, you're saying paper magazine press releases, so you can do that once you get the flyer finished.
Now, I don't know, with the paper magazine advertising, Kim had a press release that was done through Sebastian Daly last year. I believe that was an online press release. I don't know if there's any more costs, and Lisa and I were talking about this earlier, about the costs associated with doing press releases with every, like with each news outlet in town. I don't understand fully what that entails.
Right.
And so if you happen to know more than
Well,
I do.
it costs to
yeah.
put in any of the newspapers or magazines, so, I mean, we can explore that offline.
And what we do with the art club stuff, we put it on all the calendars that are free.
Yeah.
So this will go on all those calendars.
Yeah.
Anything that's online, we'll put on. It's just the stuff that costs money, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and it obviously has worked in the past, because there seems to be a ton of people at your Earth Day event, so I don't think that's, I think we're doing it cost effectively. All right, any other about, that we need to address tonight and get moving? Obviously, we need a flyer. We need to get those done, and we need to get the online, help me.
Applications?
Applications done. Those seem to be really, really key. We need to get those moving right away. Nothing else here has to do with anybody, really. It's just our items from the city and our costs. So, again, getting those flyers done, getting the online applications done, those seem to be the big pushes. Anything that may cost, such as seeds or any of that, we need to get that going so that we can then have our volunteer, stuff the packet day. And we're bringing the alcohol question to the council right away. What else was some of the top things that we need to get moving on? Yep, the seeds.
I don't have any other things other than what we went through. Does anybody else have anything for our Earth Day team?
I didn't have anything. I think your list is complete on the urgency, so I just wanted to make a segue to just a new bullet item, and that was that Kim always got food for us for the day and brought in, I don't know how, something from Publix or like a sandwich tray, and not sure if she had drinks, but I always bring a reusable, refillable water for myself.
There was a cooler of drinks.
There is a cooler of drinks. Personally, anything that you buy, I won't be consuming, but I wanted to make sure. I'm allergic to the world, so
Okay.
I can't eat bread, I can't eat processed meats, I can't eat cheese, so what I'm saying is that it was available for those
Yes, yes.
who were there.
Is there any additional questions on anything we've spoken about from anybody on the board?
I don't have a question, but I'm not on here a lot, and so if anybody needs help with anything, please let me know. Just offering my services to whatever. I'm the workhorse, so.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hagerty.
I'll do anything.
Well, what I'm trying to teach Felicia to do is to, share the wealth of stuff that she needs to get done for the day, because, I don't want her to have to take on too much and get burnt out on us. She does have a lot of things on her plate, so I really appreciate everybody offering to do a lot of this stuff. Really appreciate it. That's, I think, all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Ms. Frazier and Felicia. Greatly appreciate your hard work trying to get Earth Day together for the city of Sebastian. Anybody have any other questions before we move on? Okay, we'll go on to item number 9, new business. Any new business that we need to address that we haven't already?
I don't have any new business, but I did attend, I should have probably done this on announcements. I did attend the MRC event.
Oh, how did that go? Go ahead.
And it was very nice, and they are such nice people, and I learned a whole lot about seagrass. And they have, I don't know, some of you guys probably already know this, they have, I believe it was called the Walking Tree Nursery on the north side of the Sebastian River.
Yes.
And I expressed interest in going to check that out. So I thought I would mention that because I'll probably call them, and if anybody else is interested in going as well. But I will let Felicia know if I go and see if any of you would like to go too.
Excellent. Fantastic. Any additional new business from anybody? Well, if that's not it, if I can get a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
Second.
And all in favor say aye. And then we are adjourned. Thank you for coming.